I'll never forget that morning. The kind where the sun peeks gently over the horizon, painting the sky in gold. Yet something inside you whispers that the day won't go as planned. I walked out to my driveway, coffee in hand, humming a tune from my younger days. But when I hit the garage opener, my heart nearly stopped. Inside my own garage, sitting bold and smug as if it belonged, there was a strange silver. So not mine. Not my neighbor's. Not anyone I recognized. I froze. My pulse raced. I thought, did someone break in? Just as I was about to call the sheriff, I heard the side door slam. A woman strutted out, her arms crossed, face painted with arrogance. It was Karen, the neighbor everyone whispered about. The one who always had a complaint, always thought the world owed her something. "Good morning," she said, voice dripping with false sweetness. "I hope you don't mind. My driveway was too icy. I figured you wouldn't mind me parking here." I was stunned. "Karen, this is my garage. You can't just park here." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, don't be dramatic. It's just a car. I'll move it when I'm ready." But then something happened. Her smug expression cracked. Her eyes darted behind me, and suddenly her face went pale as snow. Because right there, parked in the corner of my garage, was another vehicle. A sheriff's department SUV, and not just any SUV. It belonged to my brother-in-law, Sheriff Tom, who had stayed overnight after a long shift. Karen's jaw dropped. Wait, is that? I didn't say a word. I just crossed my arms, waiting. She stammered. I didn't realize. Her arrogance melted into fear. And for the first time, I saw a flicker of regret in her eyes. Little did I know this bizarre morning would spiral into something none of us expected. Because that one reckless decision to park in my garage was about to uncover secrets, spark tempers, and teach all of us a lesson we'd never forget. "Karen," I said slowly, "you need to move your car. Now." But instead of obeying, she fidgeted, her voice trembling. "Look, I wasn't trying to cause trouble." Sheriff Tom stepped out from the side door, rubbing his eyes. He still had his badge clipped to his belt. "What's going on here?" Karen's face turned ghostly white. "Oh, Sheriff, I didn't. Tom raised an eyebrow. "You just what? Broke into someone's garage and parked illegally?" Her lips quivered. "I was scared, all right. My ex-husband. He's been driving around the neighborhood. I thought if I parked somewhere hidden, he wouldn't find me." The air shifted. Her arrogance dissolved into something raw fear. I exchanged a look with Tom. Part of me was angry. This wasn't the Karen we all knew. "You could have knocked," I said quietly. "You could have asked." Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't think anyone would help me." Tom sighed, stepping closer. "Ma'am, if that's true, you should have reported him. Hiding in other people's garages isn't safe." For the first time, Karen's voice broke. "You don't know what he's capable of. He's hurt me before." Silence fell heavy. The woman who had always been the villain in our neighborhood suddenly looked human, broken. Still, my frustration bubbled. "Karen, you've spent years making enemies here. Yelling at kids for stepping on your lawn, writing nasty notes, filing complaints. And now you expect us to believe you?" Her tears spilled. "I know, I've been awful. But I didn't know where else to go. Please." Tom's sheriff instincts kicked in. "We'll run his plates. If he's been lurking, we'll handle it. But Karen, you can't solve this by sneaking around." Karen buried her face in her hands. "I just didn't want to be alone." And in that moment, standing in the middle of my garage, I realized sometimes the people who seem the toughest, the rudest, the most entitled are hiding pain none of us can see. That evening, Tom insisted Karen stay at my house, while deputies searched for her ex-husband's car in the area. I wasn't thrilled. The thought of Karen under my roof made my stomach twist. But when I saw her sitting quietly at my kitchen table, shoulders hunched, eyes hollow, I couldn't bring myself to send her away. She whispered, "I used to be different, you know." Before him, I leaned against the counter. Before who? My ex, Mark. He used to charm everyone. But behind closed doors, she trailed off, pulling up her sleeve. A faint scar ran down her arm. I became someone I didn't recognize, bitter, angry at the world, because it felt safer to push people away than let them see how broken I was. Her words pierced me. I thought back to all the times she'd yelled at neighborhood kids, all the snide remarks she'd made. Had it all been armor? Tom walked in, holding his radio. We've got deputies circling the area. If he shows up, we'll catch him. He glanced at Karen, but you'll need a restraining order. This can't go on. Karen nodded, tears streaming silently. Later that night, as the house grew quiet, I found myself sitting across from her in the living room. The Karen I saw wasn't the fire-breathing dragon of the HOA meetings. It was a woman, scarred and weary, desperate for peace. Do you regret it? I asked softly. The way you treated people. She nodded slowly. Every day. But when you've been hurt, it's easier to hurt others than admit you're scared. For the first time. I saw sincerity in her eyes. And just then, the radio crackled. Tom's voice grew sharp. Unit spotted a black pickup circling near Elm Street. Matches the description, Karen gasped, clutching her chest. That's him. The tension in the room was thick. What had started as a ridiculous parking stunt had become a night where lives could change forever. Asterisk. The deputies caught Mark that night. He had been circling the neighborhood just as Karen feared. He was taken into custody without incident. Thanks to Tom's quick action, when Tom returned, Karen nearly collapsed in relief. It's over, he said firmly. You're safe now. But Karen shook her head. No, it's not over. Not until I make things right. The next morning, she did something none of us expected. She gathered the neighbors on my front lawn. For the first time in years, she stood before everyone, not with complaints, not with demands, but with trembling humility. I owe all of you an apology, she began. Her voice cracked. I've been cruel. I pushed people away. I made enemies when I should have made friends. And now, you know why? I was living in fear and I took it out on all of you, the crowd murmured. Some crossed their arms, skeptical. Others softened. Karen swallowed hard. I don't expect forgiveness right away. But I want to try. I want to be better. And to my surprise, little by little, people nodded. A woman stepped forward, placing a hand on Karen's shoulder. We've all been through something. You don't have to carry it alone. Karen wept openly. For the first time, the walls she had built crumbled. Later, as the crowd dispersed, she turned to me. Thank you for not throwing me out. For letting me face the truth. I smiled gently. Sometimes the hardest people to love are the ones who need it most. The lesson lingered with me long after. Life has a way of disguising pain as anger, bitterness, or pride. And maybe, just maybe, what someone needs most isn't judgment, but compassion. As I looked at my garage, still holding the faint memory of that bizarre morning, I realized something simple yet powerful. A locked heart can be opened, not with anger, but with patience and kindness. Asterisk.